Hey everyone, how you going? This is Bryn Smyth with the Bryn Smyth Music Workshop. Now, tonight I'm going to be talking about harmonics. So, what is a harmonic? A harmonic is a special type of note to play on a stringed instrument. Now, you can play it on, violin, cello, guitar, bass, ukulele, piano, if you're skillful enough as well. But yeah, the point is, it's a particular type of note to play on a stringed instrument. Now, okay, so some physics behind this. If you're learning high school physics, this is actually quite interesting. The way it works, well, for example, a stringed instrument, the way it works is that you pluck the string and it creates a sound. And a lot of it depends on, obviously, the thickness of the string, the length, and how taut it is. But essentially, the main thing to concern about is that when you play it, it vibrates from there, the bridge, to there, the nut. So that whole section, that string is actually vibrating at a certain frequency. To do the harmonics, what you need to do is actually place a finger or an object or whatever at particular nodes or particular subdivisions of this section here, this whole length. So, if I was to play the G string, because it's just the highest and the easiest to hear, I need to start subdividing this string, this length, into separate equal parts. So I'll go for the first harmonic. So this will be the fundamental note, the G note. To do the first harmonic, I need to subdivide this into fractions. So the biggest fraction I can do is halfway. So from there to there. So yeah, halfway from here to here would be the 12th fret. Cool. So the way I did that, what you do is just press your finger slightly, just gently on the string itself. You just need to just place it on there. No need to press down or anything. That's not going to work. Put your fingers lightly on it and just play. And you can actually take your finger away and it'll still play. See? No hands. Easy as that. So that's actually how you do what we call a natural harmonic. Now, when it comes to subdivisions, because there's actually a specific sequence in how to do these harmonics, and that's just the first of the harmonics. There's plenty of them. There's several harmonics you can do, but I'm just going to show you probably 5 or 6 of them because that's the easiest thing I can hear. So you got your fundamental note, and you got the first harmonic. This is actually a subdivision of the string in half. Now, to do the next harmonic, what you need to do is subdivide it into 3. The whole string, not from halfway to 3. You subdivide the whole string into 3. So, where's a third? How do we do this into thirds? Simple. Easiest way to think about it is the 7th fret, from the nut to the 7th fret. So from there to there is a third. From there, from the 7th to the 19th is a third. And from the 19th to the bridge, that's a third as well. So there's actually 2 points. There's actually 2 harmonics we can get out of this. Same note, just different places. You've got 7th fret, which is actually, if you notice how that's a higher note than the first harmonic. So there's that note, and there's the 19th fret as well. So you can do it on both. It doesn't really matter. They're both the same note. Most of the time people play down here because that's where you usually play your notes anyway, and it's just easy to go from note, harmonic, whichever way you want to go about it. So, you got your fundamental, you got your first harmonic, and you got your second harmonic. Now we need to subdivide it into quarters. Easy. Go halfway, and then half that again, which would be the 5th fret. And if you want to do it up here, it'd actually be at the 24th fret, which I don't have, I've only got 20, but it'd be roughly around here. So, see, you don't even have to do it on the fretboard either. You can do it any part of the string. It's all cool. So, you got your fundamental, first harmonic, second harmonic, third harmonic. Now, if you go to the 4th harmonic, obviously you need to subdivide it into, 5. Easy. That's actually going to be just behind the 4th fret. Think of it like 3.8 or something like that. And you will usually bring it out. And there's a couple of other points on here that you can do. There we go. So yeah, just behind the 4th, 9th fret, 16th, and somewhere up here. There we go. Just above the pickup there. And you can even go higher than that. Obviously, the higher you go, the harder it is to actually bring out that proper note. But it follows a particular sequence anyway. Now, if you think about it this way, this is another way to think about it. This is actually the how the sequence works. If you start with the fundamental note, which is your G, if I play the first harmonic, that's actually an octave G. So that's an octave above that fundamental note. So I've got G, I've got an octave at G. Now the second harmonic, that's actually a D, and that's actually a fifth above that octave. So you've got G, octave G, D, so that's a fifth above. And then from there, that's your second octave G, and that's actually a fourth above that D. So it goes, and then you go to here, which would be the major third, which would end up on B. And then you there, that note there, that's actually another D. That's actually a minor third from up there. So essentially, this sequence is pretty much the same as this. So yeah, it's every string has to follow that particular sequence. There's no way around it. That's just how it works. I believe it's actually the same type of sequence where, you know, if you were playing trumpet, changing mouth positions and stuff when you get to the G and then back up to the C, for example, it's yeah, that mouth, when you change mouth positions, that's actually when you're changing the harmonic sequence as well. So I thought that's, you know, I'm not 100% on that, but I believe that's how it works, and I think that's actually quite interesting. So that's how you do natural harmonics. Now I'm going to show you how to do artificial harmonics. Same type of concept, but there's a key difference in it. Instead of using the whole string to do for it to vibrate and choose nodes that way, what you're doing, for example, if I was to put my finger on the 7th fret on the G string, so I'm playing from a D, what I'm going to be doing is using this section here. That's going to be vibrating instead. So if I need to subdivide from there to here, now how am I going to subdivide if I'm already using this hand to play? Simple, there's two different ways. First way is actually using your thumb, you know, the same way as what Jaco Pastorius used to do. What he would do, he'd use his thumb to act as a node, to place on the node to where you want to get the harmonics, and then use these fingers just to play. Like that. So all you're doing is just subdividing from, you know, a different starting note, a different length of string. The second way to do these particular nodes is actually using your index finger or another part of your hand or whatever it is, but usually the index finger. You basically just place it down like that and then use these two fingers to start playing as well. So you can go, you know. Obviously, I haven't practiced as much using two hands like that, and it's a lot harder doing it on a fretless bass. On a fretted instrument, it's a fair bit easier, so start off with that, and if you want to work your way up to fretless, by all means, go ahead, but make sure you get your practice down first. But yeah, that's more of the Steve Bailey way of doing things. So you can use your thumb to bring out the harmonic, or you can use your index finger and do it that way. I prefer using my index finger because it's usually a bit more accurate, except for that last demonstration there. But usually it's a bit more accurate, and, you know, you can use the, it's easy to start doing, like, you know, combinations of things. For example, you know, and, you know, you can actually put your hands on different notes, you know, on your left hand. Start with different, obviously using different lengths there, different notes, different positions of the harmonics, and you can actually create something even more musical, you know. It's some pretty cool stuff. Now, one last thing, if you're going to be using effects with harmonics, if you really want to bring your harmonics out, try and use like an overdrive or a distortion, probably an overdrive. It tends to bring out the dry signal as well as the grit, as well as, you know, like the dirty type of sound. And depending on your EQ settings, you can actually bring out the treble on it more. It's usually stands out a lot more as well, and it helps bring it out on the forefront. So, you know, if I was to play something like that, kick on the overdrive, you can really hear it come out. It really stands out a lot more. That's another cool thing to do if you've got a fretless instrument as well. When you play the harmonic, turn that off. When you play the harmonic, if you immediately press your finger down on the fretboard as well, you can actually slide your hand upwards and take that harmonic with you, like, so you'll be basically using your own type of whammy bar, you know, without having to go like that. You're using the fretboard as a whammy bar instead. And you can go that sort of stuff. You can go upwards, you can go downwards, you can shake it all around like that. And if you were to kick on, you know, particular overdrive as well. Okay, so it's not working out for me at the moment because it's like 10 o'clock at night and I'm tired. But it's the concept of it anyway. So that's how you can actually bring it out that way. And that's basically all to it. You know, if you wanted to see some particular harmonics in action, I'd probably suggest checking out videos of Jaco Pastorius playing a piece called Portrait of Tracy. Now, that whole song just features buttloads of harmonics, natural and maybe a few artificial ones as well, but it's a beautiful piece and he executes it so perfectly. It's just insane, and there's a lot of cover versions of that as well. So go on YouTube, have a look at everyone else doing Portrait of Tracy, and you can see exactly how it all works. And that's basically it. That's how you go about doing harmonics, and hopefully I'll see you next time.